Well, we've got some problems in the garden, so y'all come on in, let's talk about them, and we've got a little bit of work to do today. Plus, I'll give y'all an update on everything else that's going on. So if y'all come take a look over here at my corn bed, well, you'll notice I have some corn, but I am missing a lot of corn. And that's because we have a problem going on here, and I don't really know what it is, to be honest. So long story short, I came out here a few days ago. I was trying to see if I could find some more right now, and I noticed a lot of my corn that had came up was laid over on the ground, had been completely cut off at ground level, just a perfect chew mark, and I'm really not sure what's going on. So as I've been coming out here and looking around, doing a little weeding, checking, I am not seeing my friend the ant, although we do have some ants going on out here. That's to be expected. I'm not seeing worms, anything else. The only thing that I have noticed is a few little mole holes and mole beds. I'm not really convinced that's what has cut my corn off, which they would typically come up from underneath the bed, because I'm just not seeing the signs right where I've lost a lot of corn. So I am at a loss. I don't know if ants are cutting these off and I'm just not seeing them, or if something's coming out here at nighttime. So that's a bummer, but that's the way this goes. If you ever plant a garden, you'll know everything else wants your garden just as bad as you do. So luckily I've got some spare seeds here. I'm about to have to do a tremendous amount of replanting in this bed right here, and I can't really pull rows like I originally did. So I'm just gonna drop some seeds everywhere I feel like I want some and just press them down. Fingers crossed they come up, because I'm at a loss here what the heck is going on. Okay, while I was planting the corn, I may have found the problem. So if you take a look down in there at all of that, that looks like rabbit droppings to me. So obviously they have been getting underneath the fence somewhere. I'm gonna have to pay attention to a couple loose spots that I have. And I'm now wondering if that's them coming in here and nipping that off. What's confusing me is while they are eating the majority of what they've cut off, often I'll come out here, find it cut off and just lay it on the ground. It's like, well, why would you cut it but not finish eating it? But the fact that there is fresh rabbit poop right here in my garden bed, that is very well the problem. I have also discovered beans ate right off. Those had big old leaves on them right there. Tops ate completely off of some of my plants too. Top was ate off of that one right there. Yeah, either we have really bad grasshoppers, or as the rabbit poop suggests, rabbits are getting in the garden. Not good. Now over here in this bed is my okra. It come up really, really well. Way too thick, which I planted it that way on purpose. So I like to do 2 thinnings with okra. I'll come in and start pulling some out, leaving healthy plants, about every 6 to 8 inches. And then I'll come back in a couple of weeks if it looks like those plants are doing well, and separate them out to where they're about 12 to 18 inches apart, and that's where I'll leave them. But I like to do 2 thinnings just to make sure I don't thin early, and then, well, I get grasshoppers out here, rabbits, bad weather, something that damages them. So we'll just do a minor thinning now. Another one in just another week or 2. It's also a good time to go ahead and grab any of the little weeds that are popping up as well. I had a lot of beans planted in this bed too, and I'm noticing, well, tops are ate out of some of them that were just up. So my tomatoes are coming along good. I got a couple cherry tomatoes. This is my beefsteak tomatoes coming up. I need to thin those out just a little. Basil's finally coming to life. And I'm gonna stick 1 or 2 more types of tomatoes out here, although this bed's already getting full. My peppers still are not big enough to go in this one just yet. Potato plants coming along looking good. Looks like I had 1, maybe 2 that didn't come up. That's okay. My beans are all over the place this year. Some up, some down, but look right here. 1 cut off right there. So I don't know how many I've lost. Rabbits are obviously hopping up in there. Look right here. Squash and zucchinis looking pretty good. Waiting on a few more squash plants to pop up. I see a few coming along. These were plants that I had started in seed trays, And then I have little ones starting to pop up here and there from seeds that I planted in the ground. This is another major problem we got to work on here. This bed was apparently riddled with weed seeds. So my little cantaloupes are coming up, but they're getting choked out. I can't even see where my other ones are. Not good. This bed is a disaster. I had beans and some corn coming up. Now it almost all looks gone. I'm assuming same story. Something got in here and ate everything. And then cucumbers right here. We need to get these thinned out. I have way too many. I'll kind of do these the same way, just lightly thin. Come back out to a second thinning here in another couple of weeks. Y'all take a look at this. We have been eating blueberries. They have put on like crazy. My little limes, since the last cold spell we had, was really cold for Florida, killed them all off. I've got new ones here. Or excuse me, these are Myers lemons. This plant's already got some pretty good size ones on it. It's gonna produce this year. And holy smokes. So these grapevines right here, which are only a couple of years old, last year put on a few thousand grapes. And it looks like this year it's gonna be exactly the same. There is seed pods every inch on these things. Look at this, y'all. All right, so y'all have seen what I like to do. Instead of sitting here bent over forever pulling up what looks like probably 1,000 weeds, I like to use a propane weeder. It's my little small one here, and actually burn them up. All you have to do is sweep right across them. It breaks them down. They can't do photosynthesis. They're done. They're dead. You can come out here in a few hours and they're all browned up. But I have to be careful not to get my little plants. So what I like to do is take a bowl, just an old kitchen bowl. I'll put right over my good plants, fire up this propane weeder, and I can go all around it and not have to worry about damaging my plants. Now I've also got to be very careful because there is fresh mulch, wood chips, and a lot of pine straw in the garden this year. I don't want to start a big fire out here. You can actually come out and do this right after a rain to make it really safe. All right, let me show y'all something. Look at this. As soon as I sweep over all these weeds, see how they're just kind of curling up on themselves? They're already dead. See them just laying over, wilting. That's all it takes. They're dead. Come back out here in just a little while, gone. All right, so now that these potatoes are up a pretty good ways, you can see the stalks are spindly. We need to go ahead and do what's called heel the potatoes, or throw dirt up to them, heel them up. That will allow the potatoes to actually grow more, expand out as well as down. It's just overall better for your production and yield. So it's pretty easy. And this is a small garden bed like this. All I gotta do is rake it up by hand. I'll do this a few times throughout the growing process. All right, that's good to go. And you can also come back and add more soil in between these rows to kind of fill that back in and give you more to hill back up later. All right, so here we are with the garden nice and complete. We have the post cut off. Boy, I've been needing to do that forever. It looks so much better. I'll include a little clip here at the end where I recorded them last night, as well as, well, we're replanted now. So we'll give it about another week and we'll see if we have the germination that we need. And we're gonna have to continue to keep an eye on what I think is rabbits getting into the garden. I need to make a quick perimeter sweep and see if I see any tunnels underneath the fence wire where they're getting in. That's just the way it goes. I always tell everybody, other things want your garden just as much as you do. So fingers crossed, I'm really hopeful this ant bait works and as safe as it claims. That part I really don't know, but a lot of people recommend it. The bag had really good instructions on it, and I need a good, safe way to work on these ants in this garden. So I appreciate the people that did recommend that. We'll catch y'all on the next episode. All right, I think I'm figuring out where all my garden seeds are going and why I can't replant and grow anything. Y'all keep focusing. Look what's flying all out of the garden. Look at them. There is dove and pigeons and everything out here in every box that I have. Go get them, buddy. Digging up all my seeds. Goodness.